out of the chaos and uncertainty of change, something extraordinary is happening. Evolving, becoming, birthing. A world where science fiction becomes science fact. Where we can reduce the risk of genetic disorders before birth and eliminate the inheritance of genetic conditions. Where we can collect stem cells and cryogenically store them for future potential therapies. And harness the healing power of the placenta to create regenerative biological products. Where we can create tests to detect viruses to make the world a safer place. A world where disease is no longer inevitable and the possibilities for restoring hope and health are limitless. Welcome to the world of Next Biosciences.
Next Biosciences is a leading South African biotech company which combines medicine, science and technology to invest in innovative health technologies, with the core focus being to enable people to positively impact their health with science. Next Biosciences group of companies are involved in the manufacture of biological products, stem cell banking, genetic testing, and other pathology lab testing. Next Biosciences is ISO accredited and licensed by the Department of Health in South Africa. The company believes in a collaborative business approach to ensure that it accesses the finest scientific minds and other key players in the industry to deliver its core purpose. The Biologics division of Next Biosciences engineers regenerative biological products from the placenta for use in the fields of ophthalmology, wound care, and aesthetics. Next Biosciences' first generation biological products have been in the South African market for 10 years. These products stimulate the body's natural regenerative processes through the actions of key growth factors and cytokines. Next Biosciences is using the knowledge and intellectual property it has built up over the last decade to develop a second generation of targeted regenerative medicine products. The biological products Next Biosciences produces are all licensed by SAPRA. The placenta is often discarded as medical waste, but is an incredible source of regenerative growth factors and stem cells. The mission of the Biologics division is to harness the power of the placenta and use this phenomenal organ to produce regenerative medical products. The placenta connects the developing fetus to the wall of the mother's uterus during pregnancy. It is formed by cells that originate from the fetus and is the first of the fetal organs to develop. The placenta acts as an endocrine organ and produces important hormones that control the growth and development of the placenta and the fetus. Placental tissue has immune privilege, meaning it doesn't stimulate an immune response. Normally, transplanted tissue or tissue grafts are recognized as foreign by the body, and they are attacked by the recipient's immune system. In the case of the placenta, it is essentially a foreign tissue to the mother as it has originated from the fetus, but the mother's body does not reject it. One of the reasons for this tolerance is that the placental cells do not express the major histocompatibility complex class II antigens that lead to graft rejection. This immune privilege means that placental tissue is an ideal source of allograft material as it does not cause an immune response in the recipient. Human placental membranes have been used since the early 1900s for various reconstructive surgical procedures as biological dressings, which can aid in the healing and act as a foundation material for the regrowth of epithelial tissue. As well as the placental membranes, which can be used for wound healing, the placenta is a major source of adult mesenchymal stem cells. These stem cells are used in the regeneration of connective tissues of the body. This is the miracle wonder of the power of the placenta. One of the products that the Biologics division produces is amniorederm. Amniorederm is a specialized adjunctive therapy designed to naturally stimulate the recovery of non-healing and hard-to-heal wounds. Amniorederm is made from the collagen-rich amniotic membrane, the innermost layer of the fetal membrane of the placenta. The amniotic membrane layer is mechanically separated from the placenta under aseptic conditions before being enzymatically treated to remove epithelial cells. It has been shown to contain significant quantities of bioactive compounds and growth factors associated with the stimulation of epithelialization. Further to this, the structure of the amniotic membrane itself acts as a natural cellular scaffold, allowing for cellular adhesion and mobility. Amniorederm is a dehydrated amniotic membrane that has had the epithelial layer of cells removed. Therefore, no living cells are exposed to the patient. This membrane acts as a scaffold onto which new cells can grow once it has been placed on the wound. Dehydrated amniotic membrane provides natural healing properties to wounds with minimal inflammation and scarring. The processing and preservation methods used by Next Biosciences retains the vital cytokines and growth factors that have therapeutic actions such as anti-inflammation, anti-scarring, anti-angiogenesis, and pain reduction. It supports epithelial healing and serves as a physical barrier against the external environment.
This video is to illustrate the use of amniorederm on a non-healing diabetic foot ulcer. Start by removing amniorederm from the inner and outer pouch and carefully separate the clear amniotic membrane from the white supporting polyester mesh. Place the prepared amniorederm on a cleaned wound area, pressing gently to contour the membrane around the shape of the wound. If necessary, secure the membrane in place with steri strips and cover with a moist retentive dressing, followed by external bandage dressing. This video is courtesy of Sister Phoebe Brewer, Wound Care Nurse at Wound Clinic Life Roseacres Clinic.
I will now go through a case study using amniorederm to treat pressure wounds. The patient is an 83-year-old man, a non-smoker, non-drinker, who is fully mobile and well-nourished. He is currently on the following medications: Ecotrin, Essential, and folic acid. His comorbidities are that he has an intolerant liver to alcohol, a peripheral neuropathy, and a suprapubic catheter as a result of cancer of the bladder, which occurred 18 years ago. Consent has been obtained to share this information with you. This gentleman presented with a pressure wound, stage 2, on the left medial heel. It had been around for about 33 days. He had a pain level of about 4, which was moderate, and the wound had quite a lot of exudate on it. Prior to deciding to use amniorederm to treat the wound was treated with Clostridia peptidase ointment applied for enzymatic debridement, a silver wound contact dressing applied as an antibacterial absorbent dressing, a non-adhesive dressing applied with a superabsorbent dressing for moisture absorption. The patient developed bacterial infection, which was confirmed by an MCNS test, and oral antibiotics were started. The wound was cleaned with acetic acid, and Clostridia peptidase ointment was replaced with an antibiotic ointment. The dressings remained the same. It was decided to start amniorederm treatment on the 5th of July 2021. The initial wound size was about 31 millimeters by 38 millimeters. And the aim of using amniorederm treatment was to promote granulation and reepithelialization.
The patient was treated at weekly intervals with amniorederm and a non-adhesive dressing was applied. The size of the wound progressively decreased over 6 weeks, and eventually by the 23rd of August, complete wound closure was achieved. In this photograph, it shows you the wound on the 5th of July.
And here we have 2 more photographs showing the excellent progression to wound closure of this wound with amniorederm. We're continuing to do numerous case studies with wound care clinics around the country, and thus far the results are certainly very encouraging, and we look forward to sharing them soon with you. Thank you for listening.
Nothing is inevitable. Anything is possible.